Nathan Calder Stadium in Menasha. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bob Schultz. With me again is Jim Carter. Clintonville is here, Jim, the #1 ranked middle school in the state. Undefeated. Everybody thought they had a good shot at playing for the Class A title. The surprise is Menomonee Falls East with a record of 9-2.
Menomonee Falls had a tough year. They lost 2 ball games and had a tough time even winning their division title. Clintonville comes in with an 18-game winning streak. Doesn't surprise anybody, but I think we'll find that the adversity that Menomonee Falls has gone through this year might bring out the best in their ball players. I think we'll see a great game.
I like the colors of your hat.
Oh, and it's cold, too, I'll tell you.
It is indeed. Down on the sidelines and experiencing a lot of that cold will be our other sidekick, Keith Wertman. Keith, you and I were here a week ago, saw Clintonville beat Wisconsin Dells in the semifinal, but it was a costly victory.
It really was, Bob. In one play, they lost their starting fullback and their starting middle linebacker. His name is Dave Rush. He's going to be replaced today on offense by Bill Schroeder, who's not the power runner that Rush is, but he's faster and dartier. Might give them a new look in offense. On defense, he's going to be replaced at middle linebacker by Mike Johnson. Johnson hasn't had an opportunity to play much this year, and I think he might be the determining factor in this game today, especially in the cold weather. And another sad note is that Rush is going in for surgery next Wednesday.
Mike Jerschley, their fine all-state quarterback, is healthy and ready to play in his last high school game. It should be a good one. Stick around. We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a minute. But a cold November afternoon for the Class A championship. The Clintonville Truckers, undefeated in white. The champions of the Bay Conference go against the Braveland Conference champion Menomonee Falls East Titans. Mike Jerschley, number 17, all everything, teeing the ball up to kick. The deep men for Menomonee Falls East will be number 19, Gary Meekus, and number 87, Marty Dowden. You'll see a lot of Jerschley this afternoon. He kicks their extra points, field goals, kicks off, punts, returns kicks, quarterbacks. And he kicks this one into and out of the end zone, and Falls East will start from their own 20-yard line. The Titans will be led up to the line of scrimmage by their big quarterback, 6'4", 195-pound junior Chris Capstan. Number 26, joining him in the backfield will be 19, Gary Meekus. Number 24, their big runner, Dale Gallman, number 24, and Tom Cullen, number 44. The ends will be Larry Van Alstyne, number 84, and Marty Dowden, number 87. This is Gallman. And Greg Danke, with some help from Jerry O'Connor, up to make the stop after a gain of about 5 yards on the play. Defensively for the Clintonville Truckers, the ends will be Mark Gay, 85, and Lee Paul, number 81. The tackles will be Libke, 72, Krasicki, 73. The middle guard, Mike Westfall, number 71. This is Dahlman again. He has the first down across the 30-yard line out to the 31, where Danke came up to make the tackle.
Clintonville had the #1 defense in that Bay Conference, Bob. They only allowed 4.5 points a game. So again, we'll look for the defense as being the key to this ball game. They've moved Jerschley up. As you know, we saw him a couple games this year playing in the safety position. They moved him up to what the equivalent of a middle linebacker with only 2 deep secondary. Then, of course, he's got O'Connor and Danke on either side of him.
This is Meekus, dropped back behind the line of scrimmage by number 73, Krasicki, along with Lee Paul.
Meekus is an all-conference 440 dash man for Falls. He played mostly defense until this year when Dan Anderson hurt his ankle, and Meekus come in, and he's had a 5-yard average and 5 touchdowns in the last 4 games, so he's been an important man in their offense.
The loss of Anderson hurt Menomonee Falls East. He had been their leading rusher. A loss on the play of about 6 yards. Call it second down, 16 to go from the 25. Straight ahead for a yard or two is Meekus. Westfall, 71 on the tackle.
Pardon me, Bob. We'll see the Titans go a lot over their left tackle, Mike Selhausen, who's a big 210-pound offensive tackle. And their favorite play, as a matter of fact, is Dale Gallman, number 24, running that left side behind Selhausen.
Did he carry something like 41 times in their semifinal win over Heartland?
Right, Gallman's carried the ball a lot for him. He had over 1,000 yards this year with a 5-yard average.
We got whistles and we've got flags down. Somebody jumped a little bit early. Offside indicated against the Truckers of Clintonville. It's going to be a 5-yard pickup for Menomonee Falls East. The officials in this game, the referee Don Geyer, the umpire Dick Firestein, head linesman Leon Jakes, and the field judge Jim Doden, all from the Green Bay area. We've got another championship game coming up on TV 11 tonight at 10:30 following the news. That will be the Wisconsin Independent Schools Athletic Association showdown between Fond du Lac, St. Mary Springs, and Milwaukee Thomas More. Dahlman still on his feet. Mark Gay had him, but he spun away out to the 40-yard line, just shy of a first down. Mike Jerschley making the tackle for the Truckers.
And they're working on that left side again. Mikas came up with a good block on the defensive end. Mikas being the halfback leading the play. Good block.
Fourth down, about a yard to go. Into punt for Menomonee Falls East will be Mikas, number 19. He is the all-conference kicker, punting average of 35.9 yards. 3 men are dropping back, but the middle man is Mike Jerschley, number 17. High snap. Mikas pulls it down, gets the kick away. Fielded short, and falling on it is O'Connor, and he just about lost that one on the bounce.
It looks like Jerschley's going to do everything for them today, Bob. The last time we saw him, last time we saw Clintonville, he didn't play in this many key situations. Today they have him kicking off, receiving punts, and obviously he's playing that middle linebacker. He's going to be the key man for Clintonville.
Jerschley will not have big Dave Roosh in the backfield behind him. Instead, 31, Schrader. Roosh on the sideline on crutches. This is Schrader. He's got more speed than Roosh had, even though he's not as big, and we just saw some of that speed as he busted it down to the 45 or 46-yard line of Menomonee Falls East before Gary Mikas made the tackle.
It'll be an interesting matchup today, Bob. The center for Clintonville, Dennis Furman's a big fella, 6 foot, 218 pounds. He's going against the nose guard of Falls, Eric Bernier, who's only 5'6" and 155 pounds. So I would guess they'll try that middle some.
14-yard pickup on the play. First down. Jerschley keeps it around the right side. Still, look at this. Still on his feet. He spins his way down to the 36-yard line. Mike Jerschley before Mike Selhausen came up to stop him.
There you see Jerschley coming back to the huddle. This isn't much of a run, Bob. He's only probably one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen in high school. Watch him spin and spin away from the tackle and continue to gain yards. Great run. Nice move there.
First down for the Truckers. A ball at the 35-yard line. The give is to the second man, Danke. He gets 4 tough yards down to the 31. Coming up to make the stop, Bill Philo, number 77 for the Titans.
That's about the way Danke's done it all year. He's got a 4-yard average, and he gets those tough yards for the Truckers.
Coach Chet Jerkovic and his staff have worked long and hard bringing this ball club along, and they have one more game to go. This afternoon's game is it, where they can put a victory and a championship away. Jerschley pitches back at the last moment to O'Connor. He's going to have to go after it and fall on it. He does. No gain. Jerschley has an interesting knack for being able to do that, Jim Carter, and that is on that option to get rid of the ball at the last possible second.
Exactly right, Bob. Although on this one, I think Mike would have liked to have it back. Watch, he'll pitch it right when he gets hit, and it throws the pitch off, and Jerry O'Connor has a tough time handling the ball. And again, the weather might be a factor there with the hands being cold. It's tough to handle the ball.
Third down, 6 to go for a first. Opening moments of action, no score. Straight ahead, good defense by Falls. There may have been a fumble on the play. It was fumbled by Greg Hoosman, number 29, and it may have been Mike Hegner, number 73, who came up with the fumble recovery for Menomonee Falls East.
Well, that's the first turnover of the game, and that'll make a difference in this weather. The ball will be popping up here and there, and whoever can maintain their cool the best, no pun intended, but just take it easy and not have those turnovers. That'll be the key to the game.
7 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first period. Menomonee Falls East, 1st and 10 from their own 33. Capstrand. The give to Dahlman, and Dahlman fumbled the ball right back. Clintonville came up with it. It looks like number 71, either Westfall or Kruzicki, who made the fumble recovery for Clintonville. You mentioned how cold it was, how hard the ball was going to be to handle, and that's what we're talking about.
And Westfall's been the key on that defense for Clintonville all year. He's an all-conference, all-state performer, big and got great lateral movement.
Dennis Furman, number 59, leads him up to the line of scrimmage for Clintonville, the center. Snapping to Mike Jerschley, 1st and 10 from the 34. Schrader inside the 30, down to the 28 or 29-yard line before Mike Selhausen makes the tackle for Menomonee Falls East.
John Faust, a senior linebacker for Falls East, was also in on that play. We had a great quote from John this week talking about football, and he said that I've enjoyed playing football since I was old enough to understand it. Not bad, John.
I'll tell you, if he's understood this game, he's got a lot further than some of us, right?
Wait a minute.
2nd down, 6. Jerry O'Connor along the line of scrimmage. Taken down by number 84, Van Alstyne. Mike Hegner made the initial hit. Jerry Jeske was in the backfield for Clintonville on that play, replaced again by Schrader. The ball squarely on the 30-yard line, 3rd down, about 7.
Van Alstyne, who made that play, is one of the co-captains and one of the main men for Falls, one of the leaders on the club.
5 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the first period. Both teams have turned the ball over on fumbles. Jerschley keeps it. Gets down around the 26-yard line before he's pushed back. Good defensive effort by Scott Perschbacher, the junior, 5'11", 180 pounds.
Talking to Jim pronounce that for her. Jeskovich. Thanks, Bob. Talking to Coach Jeskovich before the game, they said they wanted to attack that rollout and see if they couldn't just attack it at the point of the ball rather than to play the option men and so on. Go after the quarterback and try and shake him up.
On 4th down and 4, the Truckers will go for it. Jerschley keeps now, gives back to Hoosman, and he's not going to get the 1st down. He gained a yard maybe to the 25, and that's all, as John Faust came up to make the stop from his left side linebacker spot. We'll take a look at that one again.
Defensive play by Falls.
On the turnover, the ball goes to the Titans of Menomonee Falls East. Here it is again on the replay.
Jerschley had to pitch this one. There was nowhere to go, and well defensed all the way down. Strung out well by East.
Here come the Titans. Chris Capstrand, number 26, brings them up. Dahlman, 24, and Mikas, 19, in the backfield behind him. Dahlman, right tackle. Good yardage out to the 33, 34-yard line before Mike Jerschley came up to stop him. On the sideline, here's Keith Whitman.
Standing here with me is Dave Rush, who injured his knee last week. Dave, it's got to be really tough to be injured starting in the playoffs and missing this first ever championships.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of a freak accident, the way it happened and everything. Hit the cement and all. I don't know, it's just tough.
Good luck, Dave.
Thank you, Keith. Mikas, the ball carrier, across the 35 out near the 37-yard line. Enough yardage for the 1st down. Randy Siegler goes out. Cullen comes in. Occasionally, Jim Jeskowitz will alternate those two at wingback to bring plays in from the sidelines. And if the name Jim Jeskowitz does sound familiar to a lot of you sports fans in our part of the state, that's because he spent 5 years as the head coach at Bayport. Flags are down.
Not only that, but Jeskowitz played his high school football at Menomonee Falls East. Went on to have a great career at lacrosse. Great defensive back there, all conference and all Little American.
He had a chance to play pro ball. He had, you see the indication, the penalty illegal procedure against the Clintonville Truckers. I believe somebody lined up offsides. Jeskowitz had signed to play pro ball in Canada with the Toronto Argonauts, but had surgery for cancer that ended his chances at a professional career. 1st and 5, pitch back to Mikas. O'Connor slowed him up, and enough for a drop behind the line of scrimmage back around the 40-yard line. Dave Kruzicki applying the final hit.
Good defense by Clintonville. Both Jarvis, Kruzicki, and Westfall made the penetration. As you said, O'Connor came up and tripped him up, and then there was enough time for the rest of the defense to get there. Good swarming defense.
Jarvis comes out, and Mike Johnson, 37, checks back in at the middle linebacker spot. 2nd and about 8. Dahlman fights for yardage, but he goes down in the grasp of number 73, Dave Kruzicki.
Dahlman had some help out in front of him there with Manders, number 67, the right guard, leading the play. He's got an interesting family. He's a cousin to Dave Manders, who played for many years for the Dallas Cowboys, and his great Uncle Jack kicked for years for the Bears, a great kicker for the Chicago Bears.
Back in the 1930s, you remember that well, don't you?
Yeah, you betcha.
Third down, 5 yards to go for a first. Dahlman is hit solidly by number 44, right side linebacker Greg Danke, and no first down yardage there.
Danke's really been impressive thus far, Bob. He's been in on a lot of plays, seems to be getting to the ball right away.
No team through 10 games has scored more than 8 points on Clintonville in the 1976 season. No score in this one. We have 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the first period, the Class A championship game. Mika's flag is down. He gets the kickoff. Hits Jerschley in the feet. Loose ball. Jerschley recovers it back at the 33 or 34-yard line. We've got a flag down on the field, so we'll have to wait and see what the flag is.
I think it was illegal motion by Menomonee Falls East, Bob. It didn't look like they were all set before they kicked the ball.
In which case, Clintonville would take the ball back and have to kick it again before we can take a break.
That's what they're going to do. I'll wait to call it. She'll see you don't miss a trick.
Keep an eye on those flags, those flying yellow objects. Clock is stopped with 2 minutes, 9 seconds showing in the first period. No score. The indication, the motion penalty, as you spotted it, against Menomonee Falls East. Mikas will kick it again.
He's kicking into the wind here again. I think that's probably Clintonville's reasoning, thinking he won't get off a long kick. Push him back another 5.
He gets this one high, though. Good hang time. Let's see if they'll let it drop. They do. Bounces exactly sideways, and downing it is number 21, Bob Butler. Clintonville will take over there. We have timeout. 1 minute, 52 seconds to play in the first period. No score. Clintonville and Menomonee Falls East. Action back in. The Clintonville Truckers with the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Jerschley will put it up. No, yes, he does. Complete. Excellent reception. And that is Mark Gay, number 85, the receiver. Gary Mikas came up to make the stop, but a great effort and a good catch by number 85, Mark Gay, who normally is not a starter. The wide receiver's a starter, Ball and Schrader.
Excuse me, Bob. You see Jerschley rolling out, makes a good move to get away from that tackler, throws the ball right on the money, and there's Gay to make the reception.
22-yard pickup on the play. First down for the Truckers. The ball is at the 35-yard line of Menomonee Falls East. That's Greg Hoosman, a couple of yards before Bill Philo brings him down. Hoosman's family almost moved to Minnesota this year, which would have been a loss. They've had some tough luck in that backfield already with Dave Rushout. They couldn't afford to lose Hoosman as well. He's decided to stay for whatever reasons. Perhaps his dad decided it was more important for the kid to get a chance to play in a championship team.
That might be it.
Pass is dumped out, complete to Joe Mall. Short yardage. Bob Butler making the tackle for Falls East.
Mall is the leading receiver on that Clintonville team. He's caught 25 passes for a 14-yard average this year. Although they haven't thrown that much, Clintonville averages 290 yards rushing and 320 yards total offense each game. So you can see the rushing game is their biggest part of their offense.
And the Truckers come up to the line of scrimmage looking at a 3rd and a long 3. Pitch back to Jerry O'Connor. Spun around. He does not have first down yardage. Taken down right about the line of scrimmage by Chris Lowe, number 15.
Jerschley's taking a timeout here. He wants to come over the sideline, talk to the coaching staff, Coach Chet Jurovic and the rest of his people, see if they can't get that big first down. 25
seconds remain in the first period of the game. The two people that Jerschley is conferring with on the sideline are his head coach, Chet Jurovic, and assistant Bruce Parkovich. Bill Kinzinger, the Truckers' other assistant, is alongside of us in one of the booths here, spotting and relaying information to the sidelines.
Jurovic and Parkovich, Irish fellows.
And Jerschley.
And Jerschley.
Of course, for many of you who have not followed and know the story of Mike Jerschley, he is an all-state basketball player, all-state football player, and probably will end up in a career in Major League Baseball. And his dad, Don Jerschley, was an outstanding athlete at Clintonville in years past. Went on to play football at the University of Kentucky under Bear Bryant. His Alabama team played Notre Dame this afternoon.
We'll have to find out about that one.
We're taping this while many people are watching that. Jerschley throwing on the 4th down, completes it to Schrader, and he has the first down inside the 20-yard line.
That's a pressure play by Jerschley, which he's done for Clintonville all year. He had some pressure on him, yet he made the play-action fake. You'll see it here, play-action fake in to hold the linebackers and throws the ball out. Johnny on the spot. Schrader's there to catch it. Good play. First down for Clintonville.
Jerschley has completed 40 out of 79 passes for 602 yards, 51%, and 9 touchdowns on the year. He's going to put it up again in the end zone looking for Schrader, but he overthrows him out of the end zone. Meekus, number 19, was back on pass defense.
That surprised me a little, Bob, that Clintonville's gotten away from their normal game plan.
That's the end of the first period of play in the WIAA Class A championship game from Menasha. No score, the Truckers of Clintonville and the Titans of Menomonee Falls East. Along with Keith Wertman and Jim Carter, I'm Bob Schultz here at Calder Stadium in Menasha on a cold, crisp Saturday afternoon in November for the Class A championship, the first year that Wisconsin's public high schools have gone into a playoff format. And we may talk a little bit later how a school like Menomonee Falls East with a record of 9-2 got here. Some other teams with perfect records did not. First and 10 from the 19. Schrader wrapped up by number 54, Terry Griebling, right at the line of scrimmage. Clintonville, an offensive powerhouse early in the season as they spot the ball back at the 21, a loss of 2 on the play. Early in the season, they outscored their opposition in their first 3 games 149-0. But Jerschley, number 17, was hobbled by bad ankles in the middle of the season, and that point spread narrowed considerably. Jerschley dragged down to the line of scrimmage. Good defensive effort by 63, John Faust. Also coming in there was number 22, Randy Siegler.
And that's exactly what we talked about. That Falls East defense wanted to penetrate, get to Jerschley, make him commit. And there you saw it done perfectly by John Faust.
And on the field, changing his shoes, is Mike Jerschley. He will attempt the field goal. He had a 47-yarder earlier this season against Seymour. This one will be from 38 yards away.
And this is into the wind, so it'll be tough. Beautiful kick, though.
It's angling to the right, and it is no good. Just short, and I think you hit it exactly. I think the wind is what pushed that thing back.
It sure did, Bob, because it was a great kick, right on the money. Perfect range, perfect direction, but just not quite enough into that strong wind.
So Jerschley will change his shoes. The Truckers will go on defense, and we still have no scores. Menomonee Falls takes over first and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Menomonee Falls' only losses this year were to Marquette, which is a non-conference game early in the year, and to Port Washington, which was a conference game.
And therein lies one of the reasons that they are in the playoffs with a 9-2 record as Meekus gets out across the 25 near the 26-yard line where Jerry O'Connor makes the stop.
Why don't you explain that a little, Bob? It's still hard for me to understand. I know a lot of people see their hometown with an undefeated season, not in the playoffs, and a team like Menomonee Falls with 2 losses, and yet they're here.
Well, the key is that they only have 1 loss that counts. They had their first game of the season was a game against Milwaukee Marquette, which is an independent school, not a WIAA school, and all of those games are automatically non-counters. You get no credit for them, win or lose. So their record really would be 9-1 as far as games that count go. You mentioned it, their only loss was to Port Washington.
And there's my main man, Jerry O'Connor, blitzing in and making a tackle. He came from his outside left linebacker spot, had a little red dog on, came in and made a beautiful play. Boy, Jerry.
Dahlman was the ball carrier. He is the workhorse for that ball club. We've got to change defensively again as Jarvis comes out. And Mike Johnson, 37, checks back in at the middle for the Clintonville Truckers.
The amazing thing about that Clintonville defense playing so well, they've got 3 sophomores starting.
3rd and short. Dahlman again, stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Mark Gay was one of those who was in there. So was Kruzicki, and so was Mike Johnson, number 37. Kruzicki led the way. The ball is down at the 28.5-yard line. 4th down, 1.5 yards to go. Falls East not about to take any chances in a scoreless ball game. Will kick it away. We have 9 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the first half. 0-0, Falls East against Clintonville. Gary Meekus, the all-conference kicker, will boot the ball away. The deep man, and he is much deeper this time because there's a trailing wind on this kick, is Mike Jerschley. Makes a good bounce. Jerschley has to go all the way back inside the 15-yard line to field it. He moves around the 20 up to the 23, 24-yard line where Mike Selhausen on the special teams makes the stop, and we've got a player down on the field.
Boy, that was a booming kick, too. That's a big play for Menomonee Falls to change one end of the field to the other on that punt.
Player down, and a fair amount of discomfort is number 77, Bill Philo, being tended to on the sidelines. And while we've got that timeout on the field, let's us take timeout for a moment with 8 minutes and 47 seconds to play in the second period of the championship game for Class A. No score, the Clintonville Truckers against Menomonee Fallsy. Has been helped to his feet and is leaving the field under his own power. The Truckers, after that good kick by Mikas, will take over 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Clock shows 8 minutes, 42 seconds as they wind it up following the injury. No score. The give to Schrader. He's across the 25 out near the 27-yard line.
Ball carried by number 31, Schrader.
Mike Hegner. I think there are people out there. I don't hear him. Open the windows here. Hegner in on the stop.
The crowd has kind of quieted down here, hasn't it? Those cheerleaders rolling, that'll do it.
Jerschley brings them up. The ball is at the 28-yard line. Schrader
goes down in the grass to big Mike Selhausen. They have big Mike, who plays tackle on offense, playing a linebacker on defense. He's an honor student, and boy, he's a hitter. He plays well.
The Bay Conference champions in the white uniforms haven't lost a game since the opener of the 1975 season, and that was to Marinette. 3rd down, about 5 yards to go for a first. Jerry O'Connor, no room, big 84, Randy Van Alstyne, 6'2", 170-pound senior defensive end, came up to bring him down. Doesn't seem like Clintonville is able to get its offense on track.
It sure hasn't. The only time they've really moved very well is when Jerschley's put the ball in the air, which surprised us some.
Coming down to about 7 minutes to play in period number 1. Now into punt instead of Jerschley is Joe Mall, number 84. That's right, that is the one thing Jerschley doesn't do, isn't it?
One of the few things.
The ball takes a bounce inside Menomonee Fallsy's territory and then takes a good roll down to the 38-yard line, and that's where Fallsy's will put the ball in play.
Well, they ought to get something rolling here. Give us a little excitement. This seesaw defensive stuff, we need some points.
With the inclusion of football for the first time this year, every WIAA sport now determines team and/or individual championships. It's about time they brought football along, right?
There you go. We've been in the dark ages.
Second-class citizenship. I tell you, that was a tough and long thought-out decision. Capstrand brings up Falls East. The give to Mikas. He has good yardage across the 45, out near the 46-yard line. Mike Jerschley came up to make the tackle for the Truckers of Clintonville. He leads the team defensively with 4 interceptions. One of the interesting stories with Jerschley is that he is such a fine, outstanding athlete, and 2 of his biggest rooters are 2 of his brothers, both of whom suffer from muscular dystrophy. 7-yard pickup on the play, 2nd and 3, Dahlman. Almost had a problem on the exchange, but he got out to the first down at the 49-yard line before Dave Kruzicki of the Truckers, number 73, made the stop.
Menomonee Falls comes out and they'll move that ball well for a couple series, and then they seem to lag. If they can keep these straight handoffs going behind their big tackles, Selhausen and Philo, who's back in the game, he was shaken up at back end. I think that'll make a big difference if they can just stay with their game plan, keep pounding away.
That's Jeskowitz's theory of ball control. When I've got it, you can't score. Mikas, good yardage. busts a couple of tackles. He's all the way down to the 30-yard line before Lee Paul makes the tackle.
We'll get to see this again, Bob, and you'll see the big blocks by Selhausen. Well, we didn't quite see those. Selhausen and Rundell and Yeager all on the left side of the line made 3 good blocks, enough to spring Mikas.
First down for the Falls East Titans, their deepest penetration of the game. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line of Clintonville.
And Mike Johnson, who's filling in for Dave Rush at middle linebacker, has come off limping, so that could put a problem on Clintonville.
Dahlman may have been a loose ball. The Truckers think so. They unpile, and Clintonville has recovered. A tough break for Menomonee Falls East, Jim. They were moving the ball.
They sure were. They had that momentum going, and that'll just kill you in a football game like this. That's hard fought. You're moving the ball, and then to turn it over to Clintonville, it really got to hurt East.
According to Kiro, who's doing the spotting for us, the fumble recovery by Lee Paul. Andy Kurowski, not a bad defensive player for the Ashwaubenon Jaguars, doing their spotting this afternoon. 1st and 10 for the Truckers. Wobbly pass, headed generally, I guess, in the direction of Schrader, but stride for stride back there with him was Marty Dowden, number 87, for Falls East.
A lot of pressure on Jersley that time. He didn't really get a chance to get it off because Scott Perschbacher was in there with his hands up in his face, and Mike had to get rid of the ball and did what he could with it.
A young ball club at Menomonee Falls East, Jim, that really, during the course of the year, matured and gained a lot of experience.
They've got 12 juniors starting out of their starting 22, and that really is a young ball club.
Schrader slipped through the hole across the 35-yard line out to the 46. Still will be about 3.5 yards short of a first down. Bill Philo, 77, made the tackle. I'm grinning because we've got a couple of guys wandering around here with some of those goofy Halloween masks that look almost real.
A couple of them really look real. The question earlier was, what are they covering up? Is it better or worse?
3rd down, 4 yards to go. Schrader slips through the hole. He has a first down out to the 41 or 42 where Scott Perschbacher brought him down.
Schrader's doing a great job. His brother, of course, is at a starting end and has played well all year. Now Bill's gotten his chance to play because of the injury to Dave Rush, and he's doing an outstanding job.
He has an interesting style of running. He seems to be able to hesitate behind his blockers just long enough to find the hole and then slip into it.
Well, I think the secret to that, Bob, is quickness. Not really straight ahead speed, but the ability to juke and move quickly on your feet to hit into an open hole when you see it.
The fake, Jersley under a lot of pressure and finally does get it off, and it is almost intercepted. That was in the general direction of Schrader, and coming up there for the Titans attempting the interception was Randy Siegler, 5'11", 160-pound junior. On the sidelines, Keith Wortman.
Eric Bernier of Menomonee Falls nose guard is the first injury of the day, and it's doubtful whether he'll be back the rest of the game. He has a torn up ankle, and this could be a determining factor in the rest of the game.
It's not cold down there, is it, Keith?
just a little bit. 1st and 10 from the 40, 2nd and 10 rather, from the 42. Jersley puts it up again, completes it to Schrader, and he picks up some good yardage out near the 8-yard line. Still not enough for the first down. An unusual pass play.
John Faust, the linebacker for Falls East, had that pretty well diagnosed. He snuck in behind the blockers to break up the screen, and he tripped him up, but just couldn't get a full grasp on him. But he slowed the play down enough to not allow a first down.
It'll be 3rd down, about 4. The ball's at the 48-yard line of Clintonville. They have to get to the 48 of Menomonee Falls East. Clock showing just over 3 minutes to play in the first half. No score. Bill Schrader has the first down. Bill Philo got him and pushed him back, but not before he'd picked up enough yardage for the first.
Schrader's running over there behind Mike Westfall. Of course, we mentioned earlier the all-conference, all-state guard and defensive player. And Pete Lubke, big right tackle, number 72. Both key blocks on that play.
Schrader, number 31, in for the injured Nubby Roosh, who'll have knee surgery next week. Not doing a bad job. 8 carries, 36 yards, the leading ground gainer for the Truckers. This time it is Hoosman who gains a couple yards down to the 46. Mike Selhausen, 6 feet even, 210-pound senior, made the tackle for Falls East.
And now Mark Gay comes in the game, replacing Greg Hoosman. So I would guess we'll look for Jersley to put the ball in the air. Got a slot out here.
And long. They used a shotgun a little bit against Wisconsin Dells in their 19-0 victory in the semifinals, but it did not work very well. Flags are down, and the interception up the middle by number 72, Scott Perschbacher.
Well, Jersley didn't have a chance to get the ball off, and we'll get a chance to see it again. You'll see Randy Van Alstyne, number 84, the right defensive end for Menomonee Falls, come in and hit Jersley just when he's trying to throw the ball, and the ball pops up, and here you will see it.
Watch for number 84, Van Alstyne.
Comes in unmolested. Nobody had a chance to block him. And Scott Perschbacher makes the interception.
Pretty good interception for a defensive tackle, eh?
Sure was. They're fun. They don't get a chance to make those much.
1st and 10 for Menomonee Falls East on the turnover at the Clintonville 47-yard line. Just over 2 minutes to play in the first half. Capstrand gives to Gary Mikas. He tries the left side. He's down around the 43-yard line. Mark Gay making the tackle. You see the time on the clock here at Calder Field. Less than 2 minutes to play in the first half.
You notice both those teams are standing close to each other on the sideline. You don't think they want to just keep warm, do you?
It is really cold. We've got another big ball game tonight where it's also going to be cold in another nice facility, and this is an excellent high school facility. Calder Stadium in Menasha tonight will be at Titan Field in Oshkosh for the WISAA championship game. Capstrand doesn't throw much, does now. He has a man open, in and out and into the hands. Touchdown, number 84, Randy Van Alstyne.
Van Alstyne's made 2 great plays in a short time, and we'll get to see it again. We just saw him dump Jersley a minute ago playing defense. Now he gets open, and Capstrand throws a perfect bullet just right on the money. And you'll see Van Alstyne juggle it a little, and there's 6 points. Big play. Great pass, great reception.
And Clintonville finds himself in the rare position of being behind in a ball game. With 1 minute and 18 seconds to play in the first half.
Mikas is up to try the extra point. He was missing quite a few in the warm-ups. Let's see if he can't straighten it out now.
This one is wide.
I think that was partially blocked, Bob. It looked like to me like someone got a hand on it.
A 43-yard pass from Chris Capstan to his left end, Randy Van Alstyne, number 84. The extra point is missed, and it's 6-0 in favor of Menomonee Falls East. Van Alstyne comes from quite an athletic family. He has 3 brothers and 3 sisters, all of whom swim competitively. He's the co-captain of this football team. He lettered in both baseball and tennis, as well as football at Falls East.
And would you believe he's only had 3 receptions this year? This has got to be the biggest, his 4th and biggest, no question about it.
He's had 3 for an average of 16. That would mean this would be about equal to his total output in yardage as well in one big play, 43 yards.
Couldn't come at a better time.
Mikas tees the ball up. He'll be kicking to the deep man. Number 42, Jerry O'Connor, is in the middle. Hoosman and Jeske are on either side. Ball is tipped into the end zone. It'll be down there. And the momentum of the ball carried it in there. I was scared for a moment that they may have provided the impetus that put the ball in the end zone. The official says no, it's a touchback, and the Truckers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
It's interesting, Bob. Jim Jeskowitz from Menomonee Falls had a quote this week that said they wanted to be conservative and control the ball. While their big scoring play could hardly be considered ball control type offense or conservatism. It was a great play. Surprising.
I don't think Clintonville was looking for them to throw. They only put the ball up about 6 times a game. Jersley looking for room on the outside, gets a block from O'Connor, but coming up from behind to make the tackle was Terry Griebling, number 54. He goes out of bounds, stops the clock with ones showing, 1 minute, 11 seconds. Pickup of 4 yards on the play, 2nd down and 6. Six to nothing. Menomonee Falls East has the lead. The Class A championship game coming down to the end of the first half. Bill Schrader, number 31. Mikas hits him and slows him down, and then Philo, 7 77 comes up to make the tackle. I believe, however, that Schrader got enough yardage for the first down. Also in there, Mike Hegner, number 73.
Schrader's really impressive so far. Really doing a nice job filling in for Roosh. He's got his chance to play in this big title game, and he's just coming up all shining colors.
We've got an official timeout. Jerschley may have needed an equipment repair. If he did, he has had it, and he is heading back into the huddle. As the seconds now tick down, we have 1:03 play. They wind up the clock, and now down a minute to play. Jerschley brings him up. Schrader in the backfield with him. Connor, a wide man, cutting him down as number 63, John Faust, is all over Jerschley.
Faust has made a lot of plays also this first half. He evidently is the key to the Falls defense as far as when the rollout comes outside. It must be his assignment to go right to Jerschley because he's been Johnny on the spot on a number of occasions.
Jerschley has carried the ball 5 times in the first half. He's gained 23 yards. And this may be the final play unless they put it up. 2nd and 10. Fumble in the backfield on the exchange between Jerschley and Jerry O'Connor. Jerschley fell on it.
That play was designed to be a short reverse to O'Connor, but Jerschley and O'Connor had their steps mixed up and they ran into each other, and therefore the fumble.
And that's going to be the final play of the first half. They'll go to the dressing room. Chet Jerkovic will try to get the truckers straightened around after 1 half of play. In the Class A championship game, the score, Menomonee Falls East, 6. Truckers are heading back to kick off to begin the second half. The deep man for Menomonee Falls East will be 87, Marty Dowden, and number 19, Mikas. And teeing the ball up at the 40-yard line, Mike Jerschley.
I may be mistaken, but Menomonee Falls received in the first half. Now, why are they receiving
in the second half? I was confused by the same thing, and I think that Clintonville chose to take the wind in that first period.
But they took it now in the beginning of the game or now, do you mean?
In the first period, I believe. I believe they chose to kick off and take the wind. Jerschley, and there is that wind, and Jerschley's strong leg as he kicks that one out of the end zone. That's all I can imagine.
That must be the case, because if Clintonville had the option this half, they would definitely have taken the wind in the 4th quarter rather than the 3rd, so that must be the case.
Menomonee Falls East, led by Chris Capstrand. According to Coach Jim Jeskowitz, he's really their catalyst, provides the leadership for this ball club, which is a little bit unusual when you talk about leadership because Capstrand is a junior. Bob Schultz at Calder Stadium in Menasha, along with Keith Wortman and Jim Carter. The give is to Mikas. He has some room on that left side. Small, number 19, made the tackle along with Mike Jerschley, number 17. And we have a player down on the field, and that is Mikas, number 19.
He took a pretty good shot from Small there. It was a good tackle, upended him, knocked him right down. I think he probably just got the wind knocked out of him, but it was a good hit.
Gary Mikas coming up here again on the replay. Watch number 19. Here comes the hit there by number 19, Randy Schmall.
Well, pardon me, Bob. I think what it was, it looked like his Mikas's ankle was caught back underneath when he went down. When his top of his body went back, I think his foot got caught. And they seem to be attending to either his right knee or ankle.
Another championship. That's on TV 11, 10:30 tonight. Mikas is out in, replacing him as Butler, number 21. The give to Dahlman.
O'Connor and Jerschley right there are the 2 left side linebackers. Not much room to run.
Krzyzewski also in the stop. Dave Dahlman against Heartland carried the ball 41 times. That was in their semifinal victory, 14-7. Carried it 41 times for 178 yards and 2 touchdowns. Falls East with a lead by a score of 6-0. 3rd down, a yard to go for a first. Capstrand has them at the line. Butler stopped, and he is close, and I believe he may have the first down by about the length of the football.
It sure wasn't by much, Bob. Once again, Greg Danke from his right linebacker spot jumped up in that hole and made the tackle.
Just under 11 minutes to play in the 3rd period. 6-0. Menomonee Falls East in the dark uniforms has the lead as we battle for the Class A championship. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the 31. Flag flags are down. We had somebody moving early on the right side. I would guess that was number 87, Marty Dowden, the right end. On the sideline, here's Keith Wertman.
We've got Falls assistant coach here, Mark Heyerdahl. Coach, any special adjustments for Jerschley?
No, not. Our defense is set up to handle almost anything, and we feel we can play defense without making special adjustments. We can handle anybody.
Good luck in this half, Coach.
Keith Wertman on the far sideline, a long way away for that sound to travel all around and get back to you. Ball's at the 25-yard line following the penalty. Now they move it ahead to the 26. That's more like it. We've got a first down and 15 yards to go for Falls East. Leading him out is Mark Yeager. The center, the guards are Mark Rundle, 66, Steve Manders, 67. The tackles, Mike Fellhausen, number 70, and Bill Philo, number 77. Gallman. A couple of yards, that's all. Mike Westfall, 71, 6 feet even, 210 pounds senior. The nose guard, or the middle guard for Clintonville, making the tackle. Mike Johnson also helping out on the stop after a gain of 2 yards. It'll be second down and 13.
Menomonee Falls has come out this half and changed the running attack a little. As you recall, in the first half, they ran almost exclusively behind Mike Fellhausen on the left side. Now they've balanced it up and they've gained some yards.
Busted play. Capstrand kept it. Got about 5 yards on it.
It was a busted play, and yet there was such a big hole that they could hesitate on the cross-up and still make yardage.
Bob Butler is in the lineup replacing Gary Mikas, who apparently twisted an ankle and is on the sidelines, has not returned to action. Siegler is now into the backfield at a wingback, replacing Tom Cullen, number 44. Third down, 8 yards to go. Gallman runs into a wall. I think that was Hoosman who made that big hit. Nope, it was number 19, Randy Schmall. Schmall is playing a defensive halfback. He's a junior, and he's the guy they are grooming to step in next year at Clintonville at quarterback when Mike Jerschley graduates. Fourth down, 2.5, 3 yards to go. Into punt will be not Gary Mikas unless he is all right. We'll check and see who his replacement is. It's number 26, Capstrand, who is a left-footed punter, isn't he?
He sure is, and we watched him before the game, and he was booming a few, too. Now he's kicking into the wind. It'll be a little more difficult. Nice
Line
kick,
drive,
though.
Good kick. Jerschley fields it over the shoulder back around the 29-yard line. Busts through, and if he could have maintained his balance, that might have been a big return.
Still was a good return. They've got the ball almost to midfield, and that'll be good field position for Clintonville.
Mike Garatti made the stop for Menomonee Falls East. The Truckers have the football, first and 10. The ball just about up to their own 47-yard line. The Truckers trailing in the game by a score of 6-0. We're in the third period. Clock shows just over 8 minutes remaining. Hoosman tripped up by number 63, John Faust.
John, we talked about earlier, I think he's starting to understand this game after all. He's made a lot of tackles.
We have mentioned at the head of this that Clintonville's good defense, but the defense played by Falls East through the years has been pretty good. They have only allowed 9 points a game. Jerschley keeping it, nowhere to go, and there's Faust again. Drops him after a gain of a yard to the 50. It'll be third down and 7.
I can think Jerschley about this time is probably saying, who is that guy and how does he keep getting there? Faust has been right in his back pocket all afternoon.
They're establishing a much closer friendship than Jerschley would desire.
I think you're right.
The Truckers unable to get anything generated offensively. We've got an official timeout as the officials into the huddle, and it looks like an equipment repair this time for the tight end Tom Schrader, number 86. Loves cars and girls. Not necessarily in that order.
A lot of those cars mention loving girls.
Schrader, good yardage. He is down near a first down. He may be about a half a yard short. Terry Griebling made the tackle for Falls East. Let's see where they mark it when they unpile.
And I would guess even if it's a little short, they'll go for it at this point. They've got a little momentum going. They're inside the 45. they are going to go for it.
Last time that Clintonville went on 4th down, they had about 3 or 4 yards to go. They were 10 yards further into Menomonee Falls East territory. At that time, they threw the ball. I don't think we'll see him throw it here. We see Jersley keep it straight ahead and get the first. Mike Hagner.
That brings the Clintonville fans to life a little. They've been sitting here just trying to keep warm. Now they're on their feet yelling and screaming a little bit.
First down for the Truckers at the 42-yard line of Menomonee Falls East. We're in the 3rd period. About 6.5 minutes to play in it, and the Truckers trail 6-0. Jersley. Van Alstein's after him, number 84. He outruns him. But he gets a good hit down there from number 22, Randy Siegler, who makes the tackle at the 37-yard line, but a pickup on the play of 5 yards.
Even with his bad ankles, Jersley's got a lot of speed. He outran Randy Van Alstine, who was right on him, but he got away from him, made a good move, and got upfield for 7 or 8.
5.
The Truckers up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down, 5 to go. Schrader down for a couple of yards to the 35. Mike Selhausen, number 70.
Carried by Schrader.
Made the tackle. 3rd down, 3 yards for a first.
3rd and 3.
This is a big down for Clintonville. 3 tough yards down to about the 30-yard line, but they really needed to keep the momentum rolling.
3rd and 3. Schrader along the line of scrimmage, dropped again by Faust, number 63. How many times are we going to have to say that number?
Boy, he's been in an awful lot of plays, and good tackle.
Will be 4.
Now this is going to be a tough one here. 4th and 3 for Clintonville, and this is the 3rd time of the game they're going for it on 4th down.
The other 2 times they have made it. This is a 4th down and 3. Jersley pops a quick pass, complete. Loose ball recovered by Philo. Fumble recovery. The pass was complete to number 84, Joe Mall. The fumble and the recovery by Bill Philo. Menomonee Falls takes over. There's timeout with 4 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the 3rd period. It's 6-0, Menomonee Falls East over Clintonville. It's at 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Goldman gets a couple of yards up near the 34, but that'll be it. Pete Lipke, number 72, 6'1", 220-pound junior.
That 4th down play was a bad break for Clintonville, Bob. They had the momentum going. They were rolling. They had the 1st down on the quick pass, but they just couldn't hold on to the bar. On the ball. Mall could not hold on, and he gave the ball up, and that's a tough break.
He had spun for the necessary yardage that he would have needed for the 1st down. Now Falls has it. 2nd down and 7 from their own 34. Meekus, he's recovered, back in the ball game. O'Connor makes the tackle along with some help from Scott Hurdman.
Ball at his own 38-yard line.
Falls at the 38, a 4-yard pickup on the play. It'll be 3rd down and a short 4.
Good block by center Mark Yeager there on Jersley.
3rd and 3.
Jim Jeskowitz, the head coach of the Menomonee Falls East Titans, the only coach that school has had in its 8-year history. Capstrand gives to Butler. No way. He is stopped right at the 40-yard line by Mark Gay. Gay's a good story. A young man who'd been playing some defensive back. They switched him to a defensive end this year, and he's done just a super job for the Truckers. Mark Gay's dad manages the Wisconsin Gas Company in Clintonville. I tell you, those we want to take this opportunity to thank those sponsors who have brought the telecast to you. They have been outstanding in their support of the Truckers. High snap. Capstrand gets it away, but it bounces out of bounds. Clintonville will get the ball at their own 38-yard line.
7-yard line. It'll be
See if the
first
Truckers
and
can
10
get
from
something
the
going.
10-yard
They have
line.
not lost a ball game, as we said earlier in the telecast, since the first one of the 1975 season. They made it all the way to the finals of the state basketball tournament in Madison to lose in the championship game. They would like very much to avoid a repeat of that. It's fun to make it to the title game, that's fine, but they'd love to bring back that championship to Clintonville. They're planning a big homecoming over there about 5 o'clock when this game is over. Jersley. It gives to O'Connor. And Jerry has just back to about the line of scrimmage where Terry Griebling made the tackle.
Menomonee Falls defensive line is really starting to swarm. Bill Philo, Mike Hegner, who's replaced Brenner, who had the injury, and Scott Perschbacher are really penetrating across and making all the running plays tough to develop.
2nd down and 10. Jersley on the keeper. Picks up 2-3 tough yards, that's all. Philo and Van Alstyne in on the tackle, and Bill Schrader is down on the field, and he has hurt his knee. Bill Schrader is at the 50-yard line. And the coaching staff from Clintonville goes out to attend to him. I didn't see how that happened. It seemed, for the most part, that Bill was away from the play. But he is down right at midfield.
And he sure isn't moving much. Since he went down, he just grabbed his left knee and didn't move.
47 seconds to play in period number 3. Clintonville has not been able to dent the scoreboard. Menomonee Falls East leads it by a score of 6-0.
And we talked earlier about Clintonville definitely being the favorite coming into this game, and yet Clintonville's school only has 805 students compared to 1,541 at Menomonee Falls. A small little school from the north fighting off the big boys from the south.
Bill Schrader is helped off. This should be a friendly place for Clintonville. They used to belong before they joined the Bay Conference and they had the realignment. They played in the Mid-East Conference, and they would have played their games against the Menasha Blue Jays in the same stadium. Jeske, 48, is in the backfield now. Complete to Maul, and it's a first down for the Clintonville Truckers near midfield. Maul didn't drop that one. Marty Dowden brought him down at the 49.
And once again, I guess we could say this on every play, Bob, but Jersley showed that great athletic ability again. You'll see him rolling out here on the run and throwing a bullet right on the money.
Rolling right and throwing back. Minute and 20 seconds to go in the third period. Clintonville with a first down at their own 49. The fake to Jeske. Put up again, complete to Mark Gay inside the 39 or the 35-yard line. And Clintonville has it on the move through the air.
We'll see it once again. Linebacker Mike Selhausen had pretty good depth for Falls, and you'll see him jump up and try to hit the ball. Here's Jersley throwing the ball, and there you saw number 70, Selhausen, just couldn't quite get to the ball. And 85, Mark Gay made the reception.
The flag down. It's a personal foul holding against the Menomonee Falls East Titans, so instead of getting the ball at the 35, Clintonville now has it at the 20. Ideal field position. They've only got the closing seconds of the third period to work with, and then Clintonville will be going into a strong wind in the fourth. Jersley putting it up, complete in and out of the hands of Mark Gay, down around the 5-yard line.
Too bad. Mark's made a couple nice catches today, and that one was right in his hands. He just couldn't quite hold on.
I think he was looking for that sideline. He was very close to the out-of-bounds line when he made the reception. I think he was worried very much about keeping at least 1 foot in bounds. Tim Schwartz checks in as a receiver. Jeske checks out, so they'll go with 2 backs and 3 receivers on this one. Actually,
and this is pardon me, Bob, this is that shotgun formation we talked about. Jersley drops straight back.
He's thinking about running it, and now he will. He's inside the 20, inside the 15, and out of bounds. 13-yard line goes Mike Jersley. Now, we just saw a player go through that long jump fit. That was number 54, Terry Griebling. Lost his footing in there and may have twisted an ankle. That can be a little bit dangerous.
Jersley was looking for Joe Maul coming across the middle, but he was well covered over there by number 21, Bob Butler, and Gary Mikas, who's back in the secondary, and there just wasn't any receiver open, so he pulled it down and took off running. Gained 8 yards.
Stop the clock with 54 seconds remaining in period number 3. Clintonville trailing at 6-0 in the Class A championship game, trying to get in the end zone. Third down, 3 yards. Fumbles on the shotgun. Now Jersley in trouble, trying to run out of it, and does. He has some room. Jersley down to the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Truckers.
Again, he turned on that speed. He was cornered. He fumbled a little bit. You'll see on that shotgun. He was looking downfield while the center was snapped. And you'll see it bobbled it a little bit there. Picks it up, outruns those people, which is a great play. The kid's a great athlete. Runs down to the 5-yard line, fighting for all the extra yards. Make it to 6.
First and goal for the Truckers of Clintonville. Closing seconds of the third period. Jersley, the give to Jerry O'Connor. He is down to the 2. John Faust made the stop, and you've got to wonder whether Clintonville would think, Jim, of calling a timeout to stop the clock and keep the wind for a sure thing on that extra point try, and I think they've done just that.
Once again, Bob Schultz, ladies and gentlemen, coming up with the key call. He knew it before it even happened.
17 seconds showing on the clock.
Good blocks on that play again, over on that left side of that Clintonville line by Mark, help me with that, Bob. Shingler, that was easy, and Randy Bricko. Good blocks.
You think you got trouble with these, huh? Wait till tonight when we do that independent schools game and you get a look at some of those kids from Milwaukee, Thomas More. You better get your tongue well oiled up. We'll get some tough ones for you.
I can still read the numbers. I'll just call the numbers.
I'll tell you, after doing 3 high school games in about 26 hours, the temptation to say there goes number 26 to number 34. At the sideline, the conversation between Mike Jersley and his coaches, Chet Jerkovic and Bruce Parkovich, has ended. He heads back to the huddle. It'll be second down and goal, the ball at the 2-yard line.
And on the other side of the field, Mike Selhausen returns to the huddle after a conference with his coach.
Jim Jeskowitz. It must be a big kick for a guy who was a star at his high school to go back to that school as the head coach and take them to the state championship game. And Jim Jeskowitz has done that. Jersley keeps it himself. He is not in. He's right at the 6-inch line where Selhausen stopped him, and the clock is now down to 7 seconds, and they've stopped it again using another timeout.
It was pretty tough sledding there. There was more than just a stop there. That was good pop there. Good hitting.
Tough decisions for a coach to make. You use up 2 of your timeouts because you want to be guaranteed the win. But again, I think it may be a case that Coach Chet Jerkovic has a great deal of confidence in his defense in that 4th period if they can stop them, because he wants Jersley to get a chance, I think, at kicking that extra point with the wind behind him.
I agree completely, Bob, and they're talking a little bit now. I'm sure that Chet is saying to Jersley, keep the ball yourself. He's their main man. He gets the big plays for them. You saw him go on the quarterback sneak there. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see it again.
Clock shows just 7 seconds remaining, and of course, if they do punch it in on this play and are able to pull that off, and they would only use a couple of seconds in doing so, there would be no time lapsed on the extra point try, and they would also have the wind on the kickoff. It's thinking a long way ahead, isn't it?
It's great to know the rules like this, know when a clock starts and stops. Play-by-play people know it all.
Yeah. Jersley, I don't think he got in. He did not. And Clintonville has called another timeout. Quick thinking by Jersley, who was down, but now with 2 seconds remaining. 2 seconds showing on the clock. The Truckers, 4th down, inches to go for the score. They're down 6-0. Jersley, fumble. He did not get into the end zone, and all of that strategy has backfired. Jersley is appealing to the referee, but it is going to be a turnover, and Menomonee Falls East will have the ball at their own 1-foot line as the 3rd period comes to an end. A disappointing end for the Truckers after 3 quarters of play. In a Class A championship game, the score, Menomonee Falls East 6, the Clintonville Truckers nothing. For the final 12 minutes of this Class A championship game, Keith Workman on the sidelines, up in the booth, Jim Carter, and yours truly, Bob Schultz, as the Menomonee Falls East Titans huddle almost illegally out of the end zone.
I think that could have been a backbreaker for Clintonville, Bob. Not getting in there. We'll see how they can come back and play their defense. I hope that doesn't discourage them too much.
Capstrand keeps it himself and bounces straight ahead out to the 4-yard line. Jerry O'Connor comes up to make the tackle for the Truckers.
Anytime your defense comes up with a big goal line stand like that, just like Menomonee Falls East just did, it really pumps up your offense. They feel better about it. They feel like their defense is doing their job. It's going to be tough for Clintonville the rest of the way.
They have not been able to put points on the board. Capstrand brings them up. 2nd down and 7 from the 4-yard line. Gallman taken down right at the 6-yard line. O'Connor made the first hit. Jersley was there as well. Spot the ball down at the 6-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5. But even if they do have to kick from here, Jim, and if Clintonville's able to stop Falls East here, they've got a strong following wind behind that kick by Mikas, who's a pretty fine punter, averaging almost 36 yards a kick. Butler stopped well short of the first down. Number 85, Mark Gay, made the tackle. And they will have to punt it away, and in to do so will be Gary Mikas. Big kick return here would help. We remember the 92-yarder that Jerry O'Connor had in the game against Bayport, which we did on TV 11 earlier this year. He is one of the short men back for the kick. The deep man will be 17, Mike Jersley. He's backing up inside his own 50-yard line. Chris Capstrand will be kicking. The left footer, not Mikas. Jersley loses the ball in the sun and found it again. He turned around, and Mike just absolutely lost any idea where that ball was for a split second.
And it was a gorgeous kick. Really a nice, strong kick by Capstrand. Carried 50 yards, and Clintonville will take over in their own territory. As you mentioned, it's going to be tough going against that wind this 4th quarter.
Clock shows just over 10 minutes remaining in the championship game. The Truckers have the ball back, 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Mike Jersley brings them up to the line. Schrader, the lead back in the wishbone behind him. The give to the second man through, Hoosman. He has good yardage inside Menomonee Falls East territory, down to the 45-yard line where Scott Firschbacher made the stop.
And that's a good sign right away for Clintonville. They'll come back after that disappointing 3 tries inside the 5-yard line, not getting to score, and yet come back and keep their offense rolling.
A pickup on the play of about 8 yards. Call it 2nd and a long 2. Fumble on the exchange again that time between Jersley and O'Connor. Jersley had to eat the ball in the loss.
Jersley throwing for a loss.
They've had trouble a couple times. I don't know if it's Jersley or O'Connor that are, it appears they're taking wrong steps because they've collided a couple times and just missed altogether as they did there.
3rd down now after that loss on the play. Almost 7 yards to go for a 1st down. Jersley giving to O'Connor and picking him up and pushing him back is Faust, number 63. He literally picked up O'Connor, and O'Connor was really driving because his legs were still churning while he was in the air.
Both Faust and Selhausen are excellent tacklers. They play that linebacker position for Menomonee Falls. Both good form tacklers, drive their shoulders through and keep their feet rolling.
4th down, and it'll have to be a kick as Maul is in to do the punting, averaging 35 yards per kick, and he'll be kicking into a stiff wind. Line drive kick, he gets it away, takes a good bounce. It'll stop at about the 17-yard line where Menomonee Falls will put the ball in play, and they get a break on the exchange. Mark Gay was down there to cover it.
It'll be 1st and 10.
1st and 10 for Menomonee Falls East as they work to protect a 6-0 lead they hope will hold up and give them the Class A championship.
A reminder that all spectators.
First year the WIAA has gone into the football playoff system. The organization formed in 1895. It's the oldest high school interscholastic athletic association in the country. Capstrand, the give to Gallman. Good hitting along the line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line. Mark Gay led the tacklers. Pickup of 3 yards. 2nd down, 7.
Gallman hasn't had one of his biggest games, but they continually pound into that line. Gallman and Mikas all along picking up valuable yardage.
Second down, 7 yards to go. The sun continues to shine, and the shadows lengthen here at Calder Field in Menasha. Gallman ahead to the 24-yard line. He'll be 3 yards short of a 1st down. Coming up to make the tackle was Greg Denke. Right side linebacker, Danke, 5'11", 170-pound senior.
There you see the Clintonville sideline. We're not the only ones cold here. All their capes on, trying to keep warm and keep enthused at the same time.
As cold as we may be, this is such an outstanding high school facility that we actually have heat in the booth. It's fighting the cold, but it is heat. Dahlman stopped along the line of scrimmage for almost no gain by Lee Paul, and that'll bring up a 4th down situation, and the Titans will have to kick.
Paul got his chance to start today because Dwayne Canuck hurt his broke a bone in his foot last week.
That was 2 weeks ago in the year.
Pardon me, 2 weeks ago, right? And we saw Canuck earlier in the year. He's an outstanding defensive end. They definitely missed some of his play today.
Duke, as they call him, on the sidelines. Capstrand will kick it away. Nikas, apparently they were going to let him rest that ankle on punts, and it's all right.
That's a beauty.
Jerschley dragged down by number 87, Marty Dowden. Good kick coverage by Menomonee Falls East. There's timeout on the field. The clock showing 6 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the game. Clintonville leading, trailing Falls East 6-0. 1st and 10 for the Clintonville Truckers from the 33-yard line. Straight ahead.
Ball kicked by Jerschley.
Jerschley keeps it. Bill Philo made the tackle. And except for the one penetration that the Truckers made down to the goal line at the end of the 3rd period when they could not put the ball in the end zone, that has been pretty much it for the Trucker offense this afternoon.
And that was an unusual call right there, too, Bob. A quarterback sneak on 1st down. Unless there was some type of cross-up, I really don't understand that call. Now they're in the shotgun with Jerschley back to throw.
Under pressure, they put a man in on him, a man on his back. Jerschley gets away, still under a lot of pressure. Now finally unloads it and coming up to make the reception. Holy cow, is Mark Gay across the 50-yard line. He has a 1st down.
That was some play. We'll get a chance to take another look at this great play by Jerschley. You'll see Pete Lepke come in. Or pardon me, it was number 54.
That's Terry Greibling.
Thanks. But what a great play by Jerschley. Still scrambling around, throws the ball out. Great pass, great reception.
Gay had to come back for that one. 17-yard pickup on the play. 1st down at the 47-yard line. Low snap on the shotgun, but Jerschley will get it away.
And there's going to be an interference call here on Selhausen, the left defensive linebacker. He knocked the receiver around pretty well there.
The intended receiver was Mark Gay, and Tom Schrader, number 86, was also open on the play.
Well, they call it defensive holding. I think Selhausen took him and threw him around. Same thing as the interference, basically.
And here in high school ball, remember, the rule is that is a penalty from the line of scrimmage, and it is 15 yards. So the
Clintonville sure isn't quitting. They're in the ball game.
They have a 1st down at the 32-yard line of Menomonee Falls East with just under 5 minutes to play in the game. 6-0. Falls East has the lead. The Truckers trying to pull it out. They're in the shotgun again. Jerschley dumps it out to O'Connor. Good call. O'Connor down the sideline is to the 20-yard line before he's brought down around the 19 by John Faust.
It was really a good play. All the receivers downfield. Then O'Connor sneaks out to the right. You'll see Jerschley drop back deep, almost like a screen, what we call a safety valve. O'Connor throws a little block, catches the ball, runs down the sideline, and you'll see Faust come over and really unload with a good shot. Nice play.
14-yard gain on the play. 1st down, Truckers at the 19. Jerschley rolling around now, looking for his man, and it is intercepted. Number 21, Butler, with the interception at the 3-yard line. And Jerschley is down. I don't know if he is hurt or if he is just disgusted. I think he's disgusted.
I would say so, Bob. We'll get to see this again. Mike rolls to his left, turns around and tries to throw backfield over to the right, which might be a mistake. Of course, it's easy to say now, but Butler steps in and makes the interception. Nice play defensively. That's rough when the quarterback tries to roll left and throw back right. There's always that chance, more of a chance of error.
He really lofted that one in the direction of Tom Schrader. And now, with 4.5 minutes to go in the game, we'll see whether Menomonee Falls can do what they want to do, and that is to eat up a lot of time on the clock. Capstrand straight ahead. He has nowhere to go at all. He gets perhaps 2 yards out to the 5. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
The gain of 3 on the play. Second and 7.
Pete Libke making the tackle. Second down. About 8 yards to go for the first. 4 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the game. Menomonee Falls East protecting a 6-0 lead.
And you had to look at Jim Jeskowitz, the coach of Menomonee Falls. He doesn't look very relaxed yet.
They lost their opening game to Milwaukee Marquette, lost one more to Port Washington, and now they're playing for the championship. Gallman, he's out across the 10-yard line, and there's a fumble. And Clintonville has the big break, perhaps, of the game. The Truckers recovered. I believe that the fumble was forced by Lee Paul, and I'm not sure who made the fumble recovery. We may be able to find out from Keith Workman down on the sideline. We can pass the word to Keith. He may be able to find out who recovered this one. There's the loose ball. It's coughed up.
Awful difficult to see.
First and 10 as we're back to live action. Still out of the shotgun. Jersley rolls to the right side. He's down the sidelines, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown. Mike Jersley and the Truckers have tied it up.
Quite a play again. It's their main man, Jersley. Look back in the shotgun, setting up to pass, nobody open. Gets around the defender and runs it in all by himself.
And the streamers are scattered across the field as the wind has picked them up. You see the score on your screen. It's tied up, and you see the Clintonville bench. Mike Jersley went all the way in himself. The distance on the touchdown, 8 yards. Coming with 3 minutes, 33 seconds showing on the clock, and here is Jersley kicking into the wind, a decisive extra point try. Flags are down. Jersley's kick is up. And we'll wait and see. Coming early was Faust, who I believe jumped offside on the play.
And he also roughed the holder on that. Old John Faust getting awful excited. He's still hanging in there playing as tough as ever. But he may have gotten 2 penalties on the same play there.
Illegal procedure and a personal foul against Menomonee Falls East, but the kick had been made. Now, I don't know whether they ruled that penalty had occurred before the snap.
Right. I think the offside, Bob, nullifies the play right away. The whistle was blown, but the play did.
It's a lousy break because the kick was good.
Sure is.
That's an unusual situation. You've just seen a really unusual thing happen where a defensive team commits a penalty that saved them a point.
Sure
they
is.
would have trailed in the ball game 7-6 because Jersley's kick, despite all that action, was good.
But that's the rules in high school where if a man comes offside, the play is blown dead right there.
Jersley will try again. The kick is straight, it is high, and it is good. Mike Jersley has scored the touchdown and has kicked the extra point that has given Clintonville a 7-6 lead.
Quite a ball game now, coming down to the final minutes with Clintonville ahead by 1 point. And there's a lot of excitement you see there on the Clintonville bench. They can hold on now, keep that defense swarming.
Mike Jersley took it in 8 yards following the fumble recovery. Clock shows 3 minutes, 33 seconds to play in the game. Jersley teeing the ball up at the 40-yard line. The Truckers are that far away, 3 minutes and 33 seconds from taking the Class A championship. They could not get points on the board through 3.5 periods of play, but they did here in the 4th period. Jersley kicking it low and into the wind. Dowden fields it at the 16, now loses it, picks it back up again, tripped first by O'Connor and then by a lot of people. Mark Gay was in there, so was Greg Hoosman. Menomonee Falls East takes over 1st and 10, and they'll start from their own 18 or 17-yard line, between the 17 and 18.
They do have the wind with them, but since they're not much of a throwing club anyway, although that's where their first score came on a pass with their only one of the game, that wind will be an advantage if they decide to put that ball up.
Capstrand has thrown just one time. It was 43 yards for a touchdown to Randy Van Alstyne. And Capstrand's going to throw here. Over the middle, he completes it. He's 2 for 2, and Van Alstyne again as the receiver. A first down out to the 35-yard line, where Mike Johnson and Jerry O'Connor made the tackle.
Both Johnson and O'Connor were all over Van Sistine, but he just was a big guy, and he hung in there and made the catch. Nice play. And I'll tell you, that Capstrand doesn't throw much, but when he does, he zeroes them in.
He is 2 for 2 in this ball game. The distance on that one, 17 yards. So he's thrown for 60. He'll put it up again here. Under pressure, dumps it out there and in and out of the hands of Van Alstyne. Danke was over there, so was Mike Jerschley. But he was hit just as he unloaded.
He was hit, and he was looking back into that sun, too, Bob. It made it a little tough. It was a difficult chance. It was back over his shoulder, not in front of him. And as you mentioned, the hit came Jerschley right at his ankles, just to upset him enough not to make the catch.
It stops the clock with 2 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. Second down, 10 yards to go for Menomonee Falls East. From their own 35-yard line, they trail 7-6. Capstrand a lot of time. Now there's pressure. Looking long and incomplete, intended for the wingback, Tom Cullen, number 44.
The pressure was good, but Krasicki finally got into him. There was plenty of time to throw, but no one open. Good secondary coverage and a good rush.
2 minutes and I believe 36 seconds. We've got the sun glancing off the scoreboard. That's it. 2:36 to play. Third down, 10 for Falls East. Capstrand over the middle, complete to Van Alstyne again. He is near the first down. We'll see where they spot it. It is.
It is the first down, right, Bob? He caught the ball in his forward motion, took him across the 45, and that's where they'll spot it, even though he was driven back by the tackles.
So Menomonee Falls East, when they have to, has been able to go to the air successfully. Chris Capstrand, the big 6'4", 195-pound junior, has completed 3 out of 4.
And the Clintonville Trucker fans voicing their disapproval of the marking of the ball, but it was accurate. They were right on that one.
Yes, they were. First and 10. The ball just on the 45-yard line. Coming up to 2 minutes to play in the game. The Truckers need a big turnover. Capstrand fires, incomplete.
And who do you suppose is there to make the tackle?
Jerschley again on Marty Dowden, number 87, the 6'2", 170-pound junior end. Incomplete. Stops the clock. 2:02 to play. I'll tell you, Jim Carter, Steve Odom, one of your Packer teammates, and myself are going to be in Clintonville at the Landmark Hotel for their big banquet on Tuesday night.
The way it's going, I think it's really going to be a big one.
We're going to celebrate?
I would guess so. Their fans are amazingly tame here today, though. They're quiet.
Trying to keep warm. Capstrand.
Screen pass out to the left.
That's Butler. And he is down, has another first down at the 43-yard line of Clintonville.
Excellent execution there by Menomonee Falls East. They set up the screen. The pressure was coming through with the defensive line. Just a little toss out to Butler. Nice play.
Capstrand, 4 out of 7 passes for 81 yards.
Not a bad day for a club that's not supposed to throw the ball.
1 minute, 45 seconds to play. First and 10 from the 44. Capstrand, again with time, completes it to Dowden. He fumbles the ball, but he fumbles it out of bounds at the 25. Clintonville, where is your pass defense? They haven't been looking to play much pass defense today, and now when they've got to, they have not been able to.
Well, and Chris Capstrand's awfully impressive. He gets back there and he stays calm, keeps his poise, tosses those balls out there with a lot of touch. Nice reception there by Dowden.
One of the marks of this Menomonee Falls East team is that they do not impress you, but they manage somehow, according to those who watched them all year, to win the big games somehow.
That's the secret. Plus his protection. Now, Capstrand's protection here has been excellent in this drive.
This time they give to Dahlman. He's down to the 15, near another first down.
Time running down to 1 minute and 20 seconds. The Menomonee Falls is charging down the field.
The longest, most sustained drive that either team has put on is being shown to you right now by Menomonee Falls East with 1 minute and 15 to go and counting. Second down. About 2. Gallman again.
Good enough for the first down. Gets across the 15.
Number 65, Ted Jarvis, sophomore right tackle made the stop, but not until he got the first.
And now while we have a break here, Bob, it might come back to those 3 timeouts that Clintonville took in the 3rd quarter. It might come into being a factor in this 4th quarter here. If they get the ball back down a few points, they might wish they had them. But I don't want to say you were wrong or I was right.
I understand. Capstrand goes to the sideline to confer with Coach Jim Jeskowitz. During his tenure at Menomonee Falls East, he's also, and through his 15-year career, he's coached basketball, track, and baseball, as well as football.
And with that great record at East, 49, 22, and 3, he's had 3 championships.
Going for the big one here, the state championship. They're knocking on the door. 1st and 10. The ball at the 14-yard line. Time remaining 1 minute and 2 seconds. Don't forget, we've got more action for you coming up tonight from Titan Stadium in Oshkosh, the WISAA championship game for Class A between Fond du Lac, St. Mary Springs, and Milwaukee Thomas More. Capstrand throws. He's got a man wide open. Butler out of bounds at the 3.
And another first down. First down on the 3, and he gets out of bounds to stop that clock. Nice looking play. This has gotten to be an awful exciting game here, Bob, right in the 4th quarter. It kind of seesawed back and forth, mostly defensive battle the first 3 quarters. All of a sudden, we've got a barn burner.
Jeskowitz said that going into this ball game that he wanted to be conservative and control the ball. In this 4th period, they've had to drop that idea of being conservative and go to the air, and they have done it and done it well.
But they sure controlled the ball.
Capstrand tries to push his way forward himself. He is down to the 1-foot line. 34, 33, 32. The seconds continue to tick away, and they have stopped it again.
Well, if Clintonville can come up with a goal line stand the way that Menomonee Falls did earlier, this would make quite a finish.
We'd like to thank our crew on the broadcast. From Post Productions, Ron Erickson, our producer-director, John Mader. I'm doing this by memory because we don't have it written down for us today. Dale Quick on the for our fine efforts from the engineering department, along with Jack Reed. On the video, Lane Erickson providing us with our audio this afternoon. John Pigeon, our associate director, down on the field. Cameramen are Kay Miller, Rad Erickson, and Sean Erickson. Not a bad memory, with some help from the truck. And the cable puller, who's at a lot of cable to pull and trying to keep warm, is Dick Masco down on the sideline.
Dick, heck of a job.
2nd down, a foot to go for a touchdown on the Class A championship for Menomonee Falls East. Capstrand, will he keep it himself? He does. Up and push straight back, but it's a touchdown. You'll get some disagreement from the Clintonville players, but the score is in with 28 seconds showing on the clock.
And now the excitement switches to the other sideline where the Menomonee Falls Titans are all up in arms and excited.
Their coach, Jim Jeskowitz, is 28 seconds away from putting the Class A championship trophy at rest in the halls of Menomonee Falls East. A disappointing finish, if it is a finish, for Clintonville. Capstrand, or it is Capstrand, who is in to attempt the extra point. It is blocked. Mark Gay, number 85, blocked the kick. And Clintonville will get its hands on the football just one more time, and then only briefly, with an opportunity to try to either return this kick for something very big if it's not kicked into and out of the end zone, and maybe 1 or 2 plays. But remember, as Jim Carter pointed out, they used all those timeouts down on the goal line late in the 3rd period.
But I still wouldn't discount Clintonville. With a kid like Mike Jersley in that backfield, anything could happen.
He'll be the deep man set to receive the kick from Capstrand, number 26. He's got the quarterbacks on both sides of the line of scrimmage, Capstrand and Jersley, who do it all.
They sure do. On that drive for Menomonee Falls, Capstrand threw a couple of real nice passes and ended up scoring the points himself.
Jersley backed up to the goal line, loses it there and picks it up. Looking for some room, and he slides down to his knees at the 7-yard line, or 8, and that's going to be it, because they'll start from there with 24 ticks on the clock. Well, you know Jersley's got to put it up.
He sure does. They're already lining up in their shotgun formation.
Clock will start as soon as they're ready. They've got one big one left. This is the place for it. Jerschley throws long into a stiff wind, intercepted by Butler out at the 42-yard line, and that's the ball game and the championship. It's going to belong to Menomonee Falls East.
Second interception of the game for Butler. Played the ball well. Jerschley just tried to outthrow the coverage, it looked like, hoping to find someone open, but Butler was there. You'll see Jerschley uncork a bomb, but Butler catches it over his shoulder like it was thrown to him. The ball intended for Tom Schrader, the tight end for Clintonville.
The clock stops on the out-of-bounds run with the interception with 10 seconds remaining. Capstrand, I would fully expect, with a first down at the 41, will nearly fall on it as they protect that 12-7 lead.
And you see the Menomonee Falls fans coming out of the stands to line the sideline, and they're excited. That's
Final
it.
seconds tick off 2-1-0. And your first WIAA Class A champions in football in this historic 1976 inaugural year are the Titans of Menomonee Falls East as they beat the Clintonville Truckers 12-7. We'll be back in just a moment. In Bedlam on the field at Titan Stadium, or at Calder Field, will be in Titan Stadium tonight. We'll keep those straight. As the victorious Titans of Menomonee Falls East head back to their bench, Keith Wertman is on the field with the winning coach. Keith?
Well, Menomonee Falls head coach Jim Jeskowitz. Coach, fantastic game.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Coach, did you, how come you weren't throwing sooner in the game?
Well, we felt we could run the ball, and we're a little conservative, so we try and run as well as we can before we throw it. But as I said all year, I think we can throw the football we have to, and we proved it today.
You obviously showed a lot of composure. You got to be very proud of your people.
Just extremely proud. Just fantastic. They're just a tremendous bunch of kids. They came to play, and when the chips were down, they had to do it, and they did it.
Well, they showed a lot of great coaching out there, too, to be able to come back like that.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jim Jeskowitz, the coach who battled himself back from a tough battle with cancer, surgery for that, corrected it. He's okay, and we're happy to report that. It's got to be a disappointing time, though, on the sideline for head coach Chet Jerkovic, who's talking to reporters on the sideline along with his Clintonville Truckers. 18 straight victories. They had not lost a ball game since the opener of the 1975 season to Marinette. They went to the finals of the state basketball tournament a year ago and lost in the championship game. They made it to the finals of the Class A, and again, sadly for the Truckers, they lose here this afternoon, and really an exciting ball game by a score of 12-7 to a very fine Titan ball club for Menomonee Falls East. Offensively in the ball game, Falls passed for 112 yards, rushed for 127. Interesting that they would pass for 112, Jim Carter. They averaged 37 yards a game passing.
Well, as Coach Jeskowitz said, they don't normally throw, but when they have to, they felt they could, and they sure proved it. They went the length of the field on that last march with Capstrand throwing the ball, doing an excellent job, and then finally scoring the points himself. Big victory. They're awful excited, as you can see, and conversely, Clintonville awfully disappointed. But as we talked about yesterday, Bob, they both got to the finals. They're both great bunch of kids, good coaching staffs, well-organized people.
On the sideline, Keith Wertman with Coach Chet Jerkovic of Clintonville.
It's a terrible way to end a year, but you've got to be extremely proud of your team.
Well, I don't think we lost this ball game. I think that we played fine football, and I thought we had it in down there when we were on about the 1 foot line or something, but didn't work out that way. And as it turned out, we really needed that score more than we thought. At the end, we came back, and it's to their credit that they were able to come back too.
Were you aware that they were able to throw the ball as well as they did?
Well, I think we were surprised that they could. Excuse me, I got to...
Good luck, Coach.
Coach Chet Jerkovic heading out with his team to accept the second place trophy along with Mike Jerschley, number 17. Presentations being made at the center of the field by Ron Day, the athletic director at Menasha, and Matt Otte from the WIAA. Our thanks to our statistician, Bob Schultz Jr., our spotter, Andy Karowski. For Keith Wertman and Jim Carter, this is Bob Schultz saying so long from Menasha with a final score in the Class A championship game. Menomonee Falls East 12, Clintonville 7.